Hi everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! From Ohio. I'm here to bring you my Tuesday video, and today I'm going to be using the Link Together dies. I'm going to use the little, it looks like a little like lattice type thing die, and I'm going to be using it, and I'm going to be using Thoughtful Journey DSP, so I'm going to show you that. Before I do, I want to remind you about the online exclusives that's out, and that this is your last chance to get anything out of the current catalog, because the new catalog goes live April 6th, so this is the last month for that. I am offering a kit that if you order $40 from me, I will happily send you a kit to make 4 cards. I will show you those cards when I turn this down, what you would get. So I do want you to remember that. I have a host code when I turn that down, that if you do order, you can use the host code. But let me tell you that this is the last week that any demonstrator can use host codes, because we're changing our rewards program at Stampin' Up! So the last day to use my host code is going to be Thursday, because I want to make sure I get everything done. And then before they change our platform over, we're going to a whole new platform there. So I just want to make sure that all of that is done. So my cutoff date is April 8th. Doesn't mean you have to order, April 10th. Doesn't mean you have to order by then to get my card kit. It's just that after that, my host code will be gone. So, and I would really like to use my host code if I could. So, with that being said, there are 4 cards to that. I will show them to you in a minute when I turn my camera down. So, I am going to do that. I'm going to walk away from my camera for a minute, because I got to make sure I turn my sound off on my computer, because when I put this video up for me to be able to see it, if the sound is on over there, I will be getting an echo, and I don't want to do that, and I forgot to check that. So anyway, I will do that and come right back. But in the meantime, I will turn the camera around, and I will have my cards down that I've made so that you can see them. And one of them is a little bit different, and I'll tell you all about that. So let me turn this down real quick. Get it down here. And I'm going to push it down to where I can see a little bit. See my camera here, and then I'll be, whoa, I don't know that one. It's that far down. That's kind of far. There we go. So let me turn off this sound real quick. Only take a second. There we go. It's off. Okay, here are my cards that I've done. I did do them 2 ways. This is the first way I did it. That just shows it's cut out of a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 inch mat that I cut. I am bringing you guys up on my screen on my monitor and making sure that it is all okay. I hate when I get pop-ups on my... There we go. I would move it a little bit closer, but as you can see, right over here, I have my kitty. She's laying down. She likes to watch videos. Better yet, I think she's going to sleep through this one, but she's going to be here right by my camera. But anyway, there's the one that's what we're going to be doing. This one I just did and showed our new decorative rectangles that's on online exclusive right now, and cut that out of the center and popped it up on a 5 1/4 by 4 inch mat, and then I popped it up also on my card, so it gives a lot of dimension, and I really like that. So, but this is the easier way, or the original way, and then this is what I did with that, which I really, really, really like. So, we are going to move these out of the way. I will tell you that I have a PDF that is over on my group, Stamp Crazy VIP. It's a Facebook group. You can join that group. You can snag all of the PDFs out of the file section. You just join the group, go to the top where it says files, click on that, and you'll see hundreds of PDFs there. Okay, and you'll see the newest ones first, which is a good thing. So, you know, It goes from newer to old. So that is how they are found, and they're also found by the title, and the title is in the description of this video, which is called Linked Together Lattice Die Cut Card. So we will move that out of the way. We don't need it. I will bring in what we're using as far as cardstocks, because I've already, here's our card bases. They're 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, so you can see that really well. I'm going to move these right here till she gets them, till she kicks them. And then I got a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of white that we're going to cut out the lattice. And then I have, this is cut out of the Thoughtful Journey DSP, which is like scenic, landscape type stuff. And here it is, and you can use, it looks good with any of these papers. Great papers. These are carried over into the new catalog, so you'll be able to keep getting those. But it's Thoughtful Journey is the paper. Now, all of the other landscape papers that we've had out, like Meandering Meadows, the Sleigh Ride, gosh, I can't even think of them. We've had the Autumn Splendor. I think it's called Autumn Splendid or Splendid Autumn. That DSP works really good. So there's a lot that you can do with this, but the dies are on the last chance sale. And what that means, they are eventually going to retire, but as long as they're in stock, as long as they have some, they're going to be selling them. And here it is, and here's the piece we're going to use, but it has this like diamond shape, it has an oval. I also will be using 2 of these and then one of the flowers because it cuts 4. So let's get this little guy out. And this card right here, well, it's on the back, wouldn't you know it. I used this die right here and cut that out. And it makes a nice background. So that was the Texture Notes, which is an online exclusive. So there are those. The stamp set, the only thing I used to stamp was the sentiment, and I wanted something really narrow, and I found this Best Birthday Wishes and the Stippled Roses. They might be on the last chance. I'm not real sure. I forgot to check them. Last time I checked them, they were available, so, but that's what I used. Okay? Now to get started. We are going to set everything away except for these 2, because I'm going to make 2 cards like I've been doing. So we can only do one at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up. Try to center it a little bit as best as I can. I'm going to eyeball the center. Needs to go that way a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I have 2 pieces of Post-it note tape, and I'm just going to put one up here and one down here. And I'm only going to cut 1 at a time on this. I don't think it'll cut 2. Or if it does, it won't cut the second one very well. I'm going to bring this in. So you can see that my plates are really loved. Really loved. So we're going to put this on, and I'm going to put it at an angle. And if you put your stuff at an angle, when it goes into the roller, since it's not going at once, it won't put so much stress on your roller. Now, I'm one that forgets to do this all the time, but I'm going to do it, and then you won't get that big clanky noise when you put this through. See, it's not quite as loud. So I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to bring my little brush that I use for my die cuts. Get this little piece off of here so when I use that again. And what I'm going to do is just put this in here, and I'm going to just rub all the pieces out, pull this up. And there should be a couple little pieces that are stuck in here. Somebody's going to take her paw and move things around. She must not like the way I have it situated. And then there's two little things up here that get stuck that come out. And then we'll hit the 4 little dots here. Or at least 2 of them. I usually only do the 2. Take a hold of your die. And it will come out like that. So there's that one. I'm going to set it to the side somewhere. I'll move this out of the way for a second. And we're going to take the other piece of cardstock, the basic white 5 1/4 by 4. There's no hard cutting about this. Straight measuring. And we're just going to do what we did before. I'm going to tape it. I don't want it moving on me. So let's go ahead and cut this one out. Moxie cannot understand how this works, so she's always putting her paw in there trying to catch my die cutting going through there. It's funny. So I want to bring in this again, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. A minute. I got so much of that on there, it's not wanting to brush. There's a lot in these to brush out. But it makes it easier to go ahead, and you can pop them with your fingers pretty much. So I am going to take my pieces of tape off. And then pop my little, there's 2 pieces and they never pop out for some reason. But I'm going to pop them out while Moxie moves the camera. When she was smaller, she didn't move things around as much because she didn't have to take up as much room, but she takes up pretty much room now. I didn't get one of the, or I didn't get 2 of them, one on each end popped out. There we go. So let's move all this out of the way for now. It's messy. And we won't need the die cut machine again. And I always, I don't know why he's rolling, put my plates in there, roll them in halfway. I know they're not going to go anywhere and they'll be there the next time I want to use it. All right, so now what I do is I turn this over to the back side. I turn this over to the back side and I put this back in where it goes. And what I do is I use Scotch tape because I can tape barely on the edges. So I put that in there. This might hang over a little bit on my tape, and if so, I'll have to cut it off. But I'll do that in a minute. I will do that in a minute, because I want this to be held down really, really well. So I take this and... Is my cards in your way or something? You just push things out of your way, don't you? She thinks she's the queen, and I think she's pretty well right. So right here is on the edges where I need to trim off some of this. Don't want to trim that way. Too much. Try it this way. See if I... Scotch tape is hard. It's contrary a little bit. So there we have that cut off of the sides. And it's on my fingers and it's stuck and geesh. Okay, so there I have my sides. We'll see how that looks. That looks pretty good. We're going to do the other one the same way. I'm going to turn that frame over. We're going to put this here. And we are going to, and I am going to, before I put that on the edges there, I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to be a little bit smarter. That way it'll tear. I'll lay one piece right there while I put this in the frame. And it just fits back in there, and all you got to do is put a piece of tape down, making sure you don't get it in the lattice part. So I've got both pieces, and I can use this other one down here. And you just want to press good, get it sealed. Then I'll do the sides, and I'll take a longer piece for my sides. And that one I need to trim down also. So what I'll do is just... Oh, that didn't peel as good as I wanted it to. I'll do it from this end. Well, I did it this morning and it worked fine. But it doesn't want to work fine now, so you know what? Don't know why my scissors don't want to cut tape. They did earlier. I guess they're tired of it. So I'm going to take this and put it on this edge. And then I'm going to do that with another piece. This one looks like it'll fit. I didn't get that completely straight or centered, but that's okay. I'll do it this way and put my flowers over here. That'll work. Make sure all my edges are down. There we go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our two pieces of paper here, and I'm going to put this one here in it. I made them to the will fit, and what you can do two things. You can use Scotch tape again, or if you've got something where you can get a small bead of glue right outside the edge of that die cut line so that you don't get glue inside the lattice part. You just want to go on the outside of that line. And then you'll take your paper and lay it down there. And since it's a scenic paper, you don't have to make sure that it's completely straight. You just need to make sure that it's covered and it's sealed good. Okay? And that's what we have for that one. We're going to do the same with this one. We're going to turn it back to the back side. And we're going to put this in this way. I'm going to do the glue again. I like the glue on here. But like I said, if you can't get a fine line of glue right outside the edge of that die cut, then you might want to use Scotch tape, because you don't want to get way too much glue, because you're going to end up putting dimensionals on this. This goes this way. And I just kind of press around the edges to make sure that I've got it all down. And there's that one. Aren't those pretty? So here comes all the easy part now. We'll put those scissors away. We're going to move this tape out of our way. Now, here we go. We're going to fold our card bases, and like I said, they're 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and folded. Make sure you get them even. Even if you score them, make sure you get them even. And there you go. So there's one card base. And there is the other. And I did not get that quite straight. And you know what I do then? Put it on my paper trimmer. And just trim it a little edge off. And nobody knows the difference, right? Right. Okay. We're done folding. Let's take our looking for my little dimensional thingies. I'm going to use up the rest of this. So I'm just going to put this on the edges. I don't know about you guys, but I like using all of my pieces off of my dimensional sheet. That's what I was trying to think of. Dimensional sheet. And I want this to be held up really, really good. So there we go. We got rid of that dimensional sheet, didn't we? So now let's do this one. This one still has dimensionals on it. Well, let me get hold of the right thing. So I'm just going to use the dimensionals until this is empty. And then I can use my other pieces. And there we go with that. And let me see here. I lost. Oh, I'll get some more out. I gotta find my little dimensionals. We're gonna be using those in a minute, so I'm gonna have them out. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is just take and put these on the front of the card base. And then I've already got my flowers die cut, and I'll put flowers on these with the saying, and it will be done. It's a great way to use up some of that scenic paper that I know we've all bought. If you like DSPs, you've got some scenic papers And we're going to just put this on the front of our card. So there's that one. So what do you think? Do you like these? I hope you do, and I hope you make some, because they're really pretty. They would make a great sympathy card, get well card. You could even do masculine cards, you know, with these. Just depending on what you put on as your little focal point there. And you really don't have to put anything, just a saying on it if you want. So, oops, I got a piece I did not get it off of. There we go. Lots of dimensionals, right? So this is going to go over here. Okay, now we're ready to do some decorating. I have flowers and leaves already cut. I'm going to bring in, for my die cuts, I'm going to bring in this. And we're going to need 4 leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over to the back side 4 leaves. We need 2 for each. And that's what I should have cut. You never know about me, though. I could be messing up. So there we go with that. And then to put the glue on, we only need 2 leaves, 2 flowers. They're going to go on the inside. We are going to put little dimensionals on the flowers in a minute. So I'm going to pull this over. If you've never seen me do this, this is a pastry brush, and I cut the bristles off. Okay? Works wonderful. Add you a little bit of glue here. You don't need a lot. You're going to take your brush and you're just going to kind of tap into it, because you don't want a ton of glue on this brush. And what you're going to do, just kind of hold the edge of that, and you're going to put glue on these. So you just want to put some glue. Yeah, I got that one. I thought for a minute I had this one turned over wrong, but I did not. And then I'm going to just add some glue to these flowers. And the flowers, it's already stuck to my fingers, so I'm going to take it. And these are just to put a little flower on the inside. We're not going to do anything special to it. We're just going to tap it there. We're going to bring in our leaves. And we're going to add them to the front of our card. And if you have tweezers, some people like to use tweezers. I think I just like to get glue all over my fingers. I don't know. I never think about using my tweezers, is what it is. So, whoops. But you just want to press down so that you can get where that glue is on your back of your little die cuts. And stick them on here. There we go. So we can move this out of our way. Once that glue dries on your little craft sheet, it's going to be real shiny like this. And then you can just take your finger and start rubbing all that off. And that comes off. I'm not going to clean this one all the way off. It's what I used this morning. But you can clean that off just by rubbing your finger over it. Okay, let's do our flowers. We need 6, 3 for each card, and I'm going to turn them upside down. Sure I am. They're going to flip over with my fingers. But I'm going to try. Okay, there's our 6, and I have a few extra. So what I'm going to do is take and put a small dimensional right towards the center of each one of these. And I don't really have to cover that hole, but I put it over the hole because it will help hold the little gem or whatever we put down, and it will pop up the die, the little dies. So I'm just going to put one in the center and then one on each side of that on both cards. Whoops. And the little ones are always harder for me to get off. Don't know what that is, but I try to conquer it every time. But it doesn't want to be conquered. Gives me a hard time. See how they... There we go. Maybe I don't press them down like I should. Maybe that is the problem. So we're just putting these on, and then after I do that, I will put my little sentiment on the card, and then I will add gems to the center of my flowers and call it a done card. But you can decorate the front of these any way you want. You don't have to follow suit with me. It's just something I did, and I'm making some birthday cards, so it all worked out great. And what I did is I have a piece, a narrow scrap, that I keep all my scraps. So that's my narrow scrap, and I'm going to bring in the Memento black ink. And I'm going to ink up my stamp and try to get this straight since it's rubber and not photopolymer. Let's see how that worked. Get off of there. It worked okay. It's a little crooked. That one's better. Maybe I'll try a third one down here and just... There we go. So let's put this away. My fingers like to, I'm gonna make sure I got that tape off. And I'm just gonna cut these at angles. There's for that one. I don't like the looks of that little edge, so I'm going to bring these bigger scissors in, and I'm just going to cut that. I'm going to get my scissors on here. And cut that edge off. It had some like little burrs on it. So there we go. We have our little saying. So what we can do now is we can bring back in our little dimensionals that I just put away. And we're just going to add a couple of these. It had an extra sticker on it somehow. I pulled one off here, right here. I'm going to use this one. I must have pulled that off with my other. So there we go with that. Now let's just put these on our cards, add some gems, and we will call it a day. And I'm going to show you my 4 cards for my card kit to see if you like it. You will get everything to make the 4 cards except for I can't stamp anything. But the only thing I stamped on those cards are sentiments so that you could use anything that you had at home. Because my card kit is just a thank you for placing an order with me. And like I said, it only has to be a $40 order to do this. But I am trying to reach my goal that Stampin' Up! Has set for me for the challenge. And here's my host code, and there's my online store. If you need to take a picture of that, that would be great. Here's some embellishments that I got out. I want to see how these little orangey ones look. If I want to use those in there. I think I will, because I give that little yellow effect. Let's just use those in the center of this one and see what it looks like. I'm just trying to use up some gems that I have on hand. So that just adds to our flower. It looks like a little yellow center. There we go for that one. And I am going to see on this one if these are going to be too big or what. I have this color of green, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick there. And I'm going to put that in the center. It kind of picks up that green, that little greenish look right there. So I'm going to add that to the center of this one. Just something different. Something I like different. So there's, and these are new gems that's going to be out in March. I'll tell you what they're called here in just one second. They are called Shades of Green Hexagons. Well, that makes sense. It actually goes with a suite, but I don't know which one, but you can buy them separately, so that's a good thing. So there we have those. Now there's our 2 cards we did today. And then I have the other ones that I did, including the one that I added some extra to right here. So there are those. Now let me show you my 4 cards. They're right over here. My card kits will come to you. I will email the directions to you through an email or the PDFs. I still have to write them up. I've got 16 card kits ready. There are 9 that are spoken for orders. So I have another 7 ready to go. I will always make up more if I need them, but right now I'm at 16, and that's what I've made. So here's one card, and I did put a little bit of something on the inside to bring my outside to the inside. There's that one. Here is this one. This is actually out of our scrapbook line of papers that I used. I love the colors in it. And then I did this one, and what I cut off of the end here, I put right here. So there's that one, and then there is this one. So you will get the measurements of everything and the and a photo and what I used on each card, so that that will be emailed to you as far as PDF directions. But everything else you will get in the mail from me. So all you have to do, again, like I said, is place a $40 order with me this week. I mean, not this week, this month. It's going to go through the whole month of April. And you have, if you order on or before the 10th of April this week, so it'll be Thursday, you can use my host code, go to my online store to order, but use my host code if it's by the 10th. And I would appreciate that. So that is what I have going on right now, because we are doing a challenge. Stampin' Up! Gave all their demonstrators a challenge to do. It's based on our title, on how much we have to sell in that month. And with my title, I have to do $1,800 this month. I am halfway there. So I'm just keeping working on it right now. So here we go. Also, the new catalog is coming out. And if you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, please let me know in the comments and stuff, because, or you can email me. My email address is in there. And let me know that you want a catalog, and then that way I will send you one. But otherwise, if you've placed an order with me in the last year, then you get a catalog. Either I have them here if you're local that I'm going to be giving out to you, or you will be getting one through the mail if you are out of town. Okay? That is all I have for you. I'm going to go for now, and don't forget on Saturday at 10:30, I have my Simply Saturday video that will be up, and I hope you watch it. You guys be blessed, have a great week, and stay safe. Bye.